Now let's take a look briefly at the second component of the projects, the public concerts. Each year these took on additional life. The first year there were 100 people who attended, the second year 300, the third year 900, and this last year, without our presence and our leadership, the songwriting continued and the public concerts were conducted on their own.
In following years, if they advertise it a few weeks or months in advance, you can probably pull in even a few thousand people to such a free concert. And in both concerts, we had people representing the traditional musical side, using instruments that have been in this part of Asia for thousands of years. Some other people working with electric keyboards and guitars, and some of the things are kind of a mixed hybrid as well. And it was great to see people respond to these different types of songs. There was a positive response towards using the traditional forms in the concert. In many of the church services, it's mostly the Western influenced pop style that's being used. And so for probably even the majority of people at this concert, I bet it was their first time to see certainly a whole hour's worth of Christian lyrics used with traditional musical instruments.
Professional recordings were the third component of the projects. This was my primary contribution, and I arrived in Mongolia with 2 large suitcases containing a 32-track computer-based mobile digital recording studio. It is truly a remarkable day in which we live that makes it technologically possible to even consider such a thing. Not only did we record each song that was composed in the workshops and record a full project of the worship team from Erdenet, but we also were able to capture live each concert. All in all, we completed 4 audio projects and 3 video projects. These products serve as the basis for the next component of the project, which is distribution.
Our great delight would see if God could help us encourage the people of Mongolia to set up a delivery system, a distribution, where cassettes and CDs would move beyond the capital of Ulaanbaatar into the other major cities, but more than that, into the countryside, into the minority groups, and even moving into Inner Mongolia.
Our church, we have vision to preach gospel in Erdenet and also around Mongolia, also the old the Chinggis Empire. It's our vision. Now it became all Mongolian church vision. All Mongolian Christians like to share gospel old Chinggis Empire.
We as Westerners would find it extremely difficult or even impossible to function freely in a place like Inner Mongolia. Yet the Mongolians themselves can go right in there.
Worship is a very important part that mission, and every year we try to send team to China, Inner Mongolia, also Afghanistan.
Imagine what it would be like if we could arm them with boxes of cassettes that they could distribute to believers in Inner Mongolia, and also use as evangelistic tools that people who know those musical forms could hear expressions to Jesus and the living Creator God. We saw phenomenal potential both for the evangelism and the discipling of how music could be part of that.
It really is amazing the power of music and the impact that it can have in the expansion of the church and the kingdom of God. We look forward to hearing future reports of how Mongolian music is instrumental in reaching into the entire former Mongolian Empire. The next component of the project was in-country research. This is a critical part of the work because it allows for direct responses from the people as to which musical forms can be useful in Christian worship.
Well, it seems on this trip a whole new door has opened for Heart Sounds International as far as deepening the use of ethnomusicology research and training interns. On this trip we had a team of 6 people and had people covering various media and research and producing and all kinds of things. It was wonderful to see the team work together.
I got the great privilege of going into several different people's homes, Christians, non-Christians. I interviewed small children, I interviewed ladies that were in their 70s and up, and getting to enter into their lives and see how they live and see what's important to them was really special for me. The goal of the interviews were to evaluate the reactions of the native Mongolians to the music that was recorded last year in particular, as well as we threw in some secular music, and it was to get a judgment of the acceptability or unacceptability of traditional music with Christian lyrics, if that was something that would speak to people's hearts, if that was a heart language.
We will be giving the results of this research to the pastors, and they can see which types of music different people in their congregation will respond to.
Probably the most fun interview I had was with 5 or 6 older ladies that were in their 70s and up, and as we played these songs, they already knew the melodies, they picked up the words very quick, and their faces just shone with joy that they were able to sing a kind of music that spoke to them personally.
They definitely responded in a very positive sense and in a strong sense to traditional music with Christian words, and they were very eager to incorporate those into their own church service even the very next Sunday. They said, "Teach us these songs. We want to make use of these now."